How about a Thursday night football and week 10 look ahead? Gentlemen, we've already got lines out as usual. And Larry, I'm going to start with you here because we've got the Broncos hosting the hapless Raiders. This line is reflecting how the Raiders have been playing. I just wonder if it's reflecting it enough. We see 9.5 here at BetMGM. It's a total of 42.5. Now, I will say that some places have already kicked this thing up to 10. Larry, your thoughts on this line?
It's a get-right spot for the Broncos offense, which looked bad at Houston, but that's an elite defense on the road. Now you come home and you have to face a Raiders defense that was on the field for 43 minutes, 77 plays in an overtime game. They get run onto the tune of over 150 rushing yards. Now they have to travel to Denver. I think this is a spot where you play Denver's team total over 26.5. They've had some huge games at home, and I think this is another one for Denver's offense.
Well, I assume I'm following the public money here because I'm laying the 10 points. This Raiders team it's just broken. It's just not a good team on either side of the ball. And again, I thought the Broncos aren't as good as I thought they were going to be. Their record certainly reflects that they are, but they haven't been playing well. But that Houston game, that was a tough spot for them. They end up pulling out the win. They probably should have lost if CJ Stroud was healthy for that entire game. Either way, now you get home cooking. Now you get, yes, it's a division opponent, but a division opponent that just doesn't have answers for anything outside of, hey, let's pass the ball to Brock Bowers. I think Denver runs away with it, even without that without Patrick Surtain, which of course is going to be a big injury for them. Danny, you're on the other side. We're taking the +10.
You know, the Raiders are tough to take seriously, Sia. I agree with your sentiment, but they showed life, and Brock Bowers by himself can run that offense. So I just think 10 is too many here. I mean, who have the Broncos beaten by margin this season? Really nobody. I mean, they beat the Titans in week 1 by 8. You know, they beat the Eagles by 4 in a game they should have lost. They beat the Jets by 2. The Giants should have beaten them too. And last week, CJ Stroud goes down. Yes, impressive to pull out the win, but they win by 3 points. So I'm just not sure why we're making them 10-point favorites against really anyone right now. And the defense is without Patrick Surtain. They're still very good. That pass rush is excellent. But the Raiders show they can score some points. Pete Carroll is a huge dog here. It's a gross spot, but I'm going to play Raiders and just look away.
Mike, it's a gross spot, but you like the spot. You're taking the points as well.
Yeah, take the 10 here with the Raiders. You know, when you look at the Broncos, I think that they're a good team, not a great team. And what they do, and we've seen it with some of the good teams that have even made deep playoff runs, far too often this team finds a way to play to the level of their competition. And that can mean great things when they play elite teams and great teams. And it can be a little questionable when you play some of the lower teams in the league. Far too often for me, they've found a way to win, which is, again, what good teams do, is they find a way to win football games at the end. But they play to the level of the competition far too much for me. Considering the divisional opponent and the health that the Raiders are now in, I think the spread here should have been 8. So I would be on the Raiders at 10.
All right. Intriguing line, to say the least. Maybe not an intriguing matchup, but certainly an intriguing line for a division game. All right, let's look at other week 10 games that maybe we want to bet now. We'll get to games that maybe we're going to wait on and wait for the line to get better for us. But Danny Brasco, I'll start with you. What's a line you're willing to take right now?
Yeah, I'm looking at the Buffalo Bills -8.5 here, Sia, and the Dolphins actually played them competitively in their first meeting of the season. If I told you that both Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle scored, Devon Achane averaged 5 yards a carry and had 7 catches, and the backup running back Ollie Gordon got in, you might say, hey, did the Dolphins win that game? They upset the Bills? Did they cover? No, they lost by double digits. And now you're getting the Bills in top form. They're coming off their best defensive performance of the year. They're swarming the quarterback. They look great. And the Dolphins are one horrible loss away from just disintegrating into thin air, firing Mike McDaniel and packing up and leaving town, maybe just calling the season early. So I think Bills smash spot here. Give me -8.5.
It's a nice segue for my play, disintegrating into thin air. I hate to say it. I mean, I told everybody, listen, the Commanders' ceiling is very high, but the floor is also very low. I said that coming into the season. And of course, we're seeing the floor. Now, that's a lot to do with injuries. And that's not just to Jaden Daniels, but this entire team. But the Lions coming in off a loss with Mariota at the helm and so many injuries across the board at the skill positions, at the defense. Of course, Lattimore has torn his ACL as well. There's just too much going on with Washington. Detroit ends up pulling away. I'll lock in the 7.5 right now with Detroit on the road. Mike, what do you like?
I like the Eagles plus 2.5 on the road at Green Bay. Primetime game, always, not the easiest spot to go travel into. But like the Denver Broncos, to me, the Green Bay Packers are a team that have just simply played to the level of their competition. And now they just lost one of their biggest weapons, being Tucker Kraft. I think it's going to be difficult to overcome. Philly coming in off the bye week, but not only coming in off the bye week, they got right before the bye week with a big win over the Giants in blowout fashion. They took care of business the week before that in Minnesota. I think this is the time to buy on the Eagles. I think it'll be a tight game, but ultimately I think they win it outright.
Larry, a lot of smart people, not you and I, but a lot of smart people were on the Falcons. Mike was one of them on the Falcons against the Patriots last week. You're jumping on board this week, the Falcons train.
Yeah, they outgained the Patriots on a yards per play basis. They missed an extra point, kind of reminiscent of how they lost to the Bucs, missing a chip shot field goal that would have taken that game to overtime. And I just think this line, which opened at 6.5, and now you're seeing some 6s and even 5.5s. So I would get 6 or more with Atlanta playing the Colts in Berlin, because we saw what can happen to Daniel Jones when he's under a lot of pressure. And that Falcons pass rush, 6 sacks on Drake May. They had the big sack fumble to turn the game and make it a competitive game. They are able to bring some pressure. So I'm not saying they go outright and win the game, but I think Bijan Robinson gets going and they are able to be very competitive with the Colts.
All right, gentlemen, let's go rapid fire here. Week 10 side you're waiting on. Maybe give me 15 seconds or less. Danny Brasco.
I'm feeling like the number 45.5 is just a soft total. We've talked about this on shows before. So I'm going with Seattle versus Arizona to go over the total. Lumen Field's no longer just this vaunted defense under place, right? They're 3-1 to the under at home, 4-2 to the under as to the over as the favorite. So I think this game has points. Give me the over 45.5.
Mike McClure, what are you waiting on?
I waited too long on the Ravens. 3.5 was looking for 3. We're seeing 4s and 4.5s now on the market, which I agree with. I make the game a touchdown for Baltimore. So minus 3.5. Don't wait any longer. Just play it now.
All right, Larry, close this out.
Yeah, I'm waiting on the Bears. The 3.5 right now over the Giants. If I can get a 3, definitely going to fire. This is a Giants team since the fourth quarter against Denver, 109 points allowed in the last 9 quarters. Basically, Brian Burns is the only defender playing good football right now. I want to be on the Bears.
All right. Mike McClure, Danny Brasco, Larry Hartstein, thank you very much. If you enjoyed this type of conversation, I highly encourage you to join the SportsLine members only Discord. If you're a SportsLine member, you get the Discord for free. You might have heard NHL season recently started. And oh, by the way, college basketball season has started. We got the NBA Discord, college basketball, NHL, NFL, college football, you name it, different channels for each. Get in the Discord and talk with our experts and talk with thousands of others who are considering lines as we speak.